All right, welcome everybody to another edition with Bitcoin Billionaire, where we teach you how to make money in crypto. And as you can see, today we're talking about Bitcoin, and something explosive is about to happen. So make sure to subscribe to the channel and press like so we can get lots of likes on today's video. And thank you very much for supporting the channel. Now, where is Bitcoin going? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how the S&P 500 it was rebounding, but it didn't last very long. So, as we can see, we got rejected there. We're on our way down. As we always told you in the past, the markets affect Bitcoin, okay? Almost parallel. We talked about that in September, if you remember here, right? How Bitcoin was following that back in September and every month before that, right? Every time there's, some kind of correction with the markets, then Bitcoin is also going to follow that. So that's why we are struggling, because the markets are struggling. So we are stuck between a rock and a hard place, as they say. And so let's talk about what we can expect here. Now, it's very important that you do understand this is a big support all the way to the green. Our worst case is really about 38,000. I'm not saying it's impossible to break it, but I am willing to DC as it goes down, of course, at different places to buy, because I really believe that actually it's not going to break that. I doubt we're going to go to 30,000 like we did before. I'm not saying it's impossible, but if you remember back before, we did go in that $30,000 range here. Back when we crashed down more than 50 something percent. And so I don't think that's going to happen. I do believe that, we are getting a higher high technically, and, we are getting a higher low, if you want to look like that. I mean, you could count this one, but I think you should count the high point, the low point, the high point, and the low point, right? So I think as long as we're following kind of this trend line here, we're still in an uptrend. Okay, now where would be concerning is if we broke that, but even then it can only go so low. So again, I'm still under the belief that as long as we are in the uptrend, which we are, with higher lows and higher highs, I think it's all good. Okay, now we just saw a fake out, right? If we go back to a lower time frame, for sure, it kind of looked like, hey, we got rejected here. We're about to bounce, right? Which I bought here. Yeah, I mentioned that yesterday. And then we're about to bounce, and then, boof, we get rejected. And so when you get rejected like that, is for sure we're going to go to a lower low, most likely in 90% probability, because this is all about probability, guys. There's no absolute certainty in trading. Anything can happen. News can come out and so on, right? So I just think this is a game, all right? I don't, yes, it's a serious game at times. I understand that. But I do think that what we're going to see again is just this resistance playing here, and it could continue. I think it doesn't mean that it's going to stop, and it's kind of a wedge here that we're seeing, right? So at some point, the wedge, as we're moving in this wedge here, right? At some point, we are going to break it, either on the downside or the upside. Now, 2/3 of the times, these wedges always break in the upside, right? 2/3 of the time. So 1/3 of the time they break down. So that's the odds. So playing the odds and buying in this level here on the support here is good trading practice, in my opinion. It's good risk management as well, because your very worst case scenario, and I always like to ask that, when I modeled billionaires, they always think like that, what's the worst case? And the worst case is we go back to 30, but we'll get a bounce if that happens, and then you could sell and buy it again at a cheaper price. Or if you want to play it safe, put 50% of your money now and 50% at the lower price, but then you're not going to go all in, or you're not going to make as much profit. So I'm not all in yet personally. I'm waiting to get a better deal, because I do think we saw it go all the way down there. So it won't be surprised if we hit that level again. So that's where I'm aiming for. And I've got prices all over the place as we go down, as I said. Okay, so that's for Bitcoin. An explosive move is coming. Time is running out for Bitcoin, Time is not on our side here, because as we can see, the pattern's either going to break up or down. So an explosive movement is going to come soon. And just want to mention that to you. All right, I do want to talk about Meta Gold. So we had a dip, and I told you guys to buy the dip. And looking good because, you know, we made a lot of progress, and from the bottom up until the top here, as we go to the high point, we made 59%, almost 60%. So we're a little bit down now, but things are looking good. And I do believe that we're probably going to continue this pattern upwards. There's a bit of resistance here. So we might stay in that resistance a while, but I do believe we're going to break through. I do think that eventually you are definitely going to break that. So we might just see, a little bit of, bounce here a little bit and then break through and then move on to the all-time high. So we have this point here. So good trading for Meta Gold. Again, this is like a digital gold. It's a place you store your wealth. But I do want to show you the potential as we head back to the all-time high. It's a 42% gain from here. So looking good. And then we'll probably break through the all-time high. As we can see, this is a very strong, healthy chart. And Meta Gold looking good. Now let's talk about Casta. So this is Casta, and Casta not looking so good. They're really struggling to break through, and it's kind of funny because the guy from the moon, Carl, never talks about the chart, and I've been mentioning this chart for a while. In fact, I made like support. So very interesting that he doesn't mention anything at all. I think he should start doing some chart analysis here. Because the lowest point we saw was 66. I did recommend that you buy at that point. And, but now we got to see what's going to happen. Like, where's the support? Because we broke support here. We thought we were holding it though, but we broke it. So that's the situation there. The question is, are we going to head down to the next level at about 75? So putting an order here would be good. I don't know if we're going to head back to 66. It's possible. But definitely, I would like to see a higher low and then start seeing a higher high, at least from this point, right? So chart would need to basically go like this and then bounce and see a higher high, right? If you don't see that, then that's not a good sign for Casta. Not as good of a trade as I thought it would be. So just mentioning it to you because, the all-time high on launch was $2. I'm sure a lot of people paid $2. I was able to buy it very cheap as it was going up. So I did buy some at $1 though. So for those, I'm just going to hold them and wait. I do believe that Casta is definitely going to break through as they get accepted in Coinbase and Binance and launch their software. As long as they can hold here for now, it's okay. No need to panic or sell Casta. I would just hold on to it if you're invested in there. Well, I do want to talk about one more, which is Ethereum, okay? Because Ethereum has been holding on very, very well. You can see that we're now at a 31 level. And the question is, well, are we going to go down to this 28 support? So we haven't went there yet. So first of all, let's look at a few things why Ethereum might be an interesting trade. Like, we're quite down a bit. If we go all the way to the lowest point, it's 39%, right, from the all-time high. I was expecting Ethereum to do better, but it's holding on quite well. Like, I'm surprised it didn't go down more than that, because the reason I say that is that is when we look at Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin went down quite a bit. If we go in 4-hour charts and we measure how down Bitcoin came, right? It's quite more than, it seemed like it's quite more than Ethereum, because this is down 42%. And Ethereum is from the all-time high. Let's go to 4-hour, 42. So compare that to 42. Let's go to the highest point. Yeah, it's less, right? It's only 39%. So I would like to get a better deal on Ethereum for sure. There's a lot that I like, right? This is a whole, I have a whole list of coins that I trade, but I'm thinking of investing in Ethereum. But honestly, I'd like to see a better price, right? Matic as well. I do like Matic, and it's been in this, well, it's been in this kind of, upward uptrend for a long time here. You can see where it's been. Kind of broke through and then went down, and now going back to like support. Looks very good. Matic is doing very, very well as far as like if you compare to everything else out there that crashed, right? Matic has not crashed that much. It's less. It's like, if you go down to even here, it's 35. It's less than Bitcoin, less than Ethereum. And usually an altcoin like Matic would crash a lot more, but they're in a very strong uptrend. So Matic has been on my list. And, well, honestly, I like to buy them when I get a good deal, like example, when it crashed all the way down here, right? 77% crash, and then buy it. And then you get that's a good deal, right? Then you're basically buying it and holding it, and you can make like massive amount, like 162%. I just think right now, yeah, you could wait until it goes here and then play that, but that's not big enough for me. I wouldn't risk it. I'm going to wait for Matic. It's been one of my favorite ones, but anyway, just to talk about that. All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. Make sure to press like on the video and subscribe to the channel to get more of those videos. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.